Okay, so I'm going to use the December 20th um, playlist to just show a few things about making slides. So you can ignore this. It's important to remember that you don't sync media across computers. Otherwise, if you do accidentally sync media up to the repository, it'll take forever. So always make sure that when you go to sync, that this is not checked. So I've already synced the files down from the repository, and here are just a few things. So I'm going to go ahead and unlink all this, and I will walk through what to do and some important notes. All right. So I'm unlinking everything, and here we go. So the first thing you're going to do is hit Command F. That's the easiest way to find anything. And then you just start looking for stuff. So pre-service, loop, announcement loop downtown. The prelude song, normally it'll say what it is. In fact, I think I updated Planning Center, so here we go. Okay, so sometimes it'll automatically find the songs for you. In this case, it did for It Came to Pass. Now, this is a great example of work that needs to be done. So here we have the song. Now you'll notice I'm in the master arrangement. This is not what we want. We don't want this. We want to go see what this looks like. Wow, okay, this doesn't look like what I really want it to look like either. So go back to the master, and there's lots of stuff that's wrong with this. So first thing we want to hit is go to the repository or the reflow editor. You can either click this button, or I think the command. I think the shortcut is Control R. All right. So first things first. Only 2 lines of text per slide. So I'm going through here and using the keyboard shortcut Option Return to make this 2 lines per slide. Now some other things that you're going to want to make sure you do. This is not all one chorus. So now we need to separate this out into what it is. So you'll click on this little arrow right here. I'm working on my computer at home, so it's a little slower. Let's try it again. All right, go to Group, and then call it what it is. So this is verse 1. Notice that just changed everything. So you go to verse 1, and then you go down here. So I think this is verse 2, the beginning of verse 2. And you'll notice now it's divided verse 1 from verse 2. And then this is verse 3. Now, on a song like this, that's kind of a special song. It's not so necessary to do that, but you should always do that because you have to do that to be able to come into here now and build the song out. And in a song like this, I'm just playing it straightforward from beginning to end, just like the recording. It's not a huge deal, but most songs that we play, I don't play exactly like the recording. And so we need to have the ability to rearrange things. So I just made a really simple arrangement of this. But that is how you would break up a song in the reflow editor to make an arrangement. And then you're going to need to do some other things. First of all, there's no looks or commands attached to any of this stuff. So we're going to go ahead and highlight that whole song. And we're going to add, first of all, add a clear all. And for some reason, it'll add it to like everything except the blank slide. I have no idea why. You have to select the blank slide individually and add a clear all. No clue why. The other thing we want to add is the audience look songs. You might wonder why we put those commands on every single song slide. That's just a redundancy that's meant to help just ensure that nothing goes wrong. Now I'm going to change my stage screen to show this new one that I made called All Screens. Now what this is going to do, you can see right here, this is on what people see online. This is what people see in the sanctuary. This is what people see on the downtown TVs, like those TVs that are on the second floor downtown. And this is what people see at the downtown projector. Now, right now you can see that nothing is coming up, okay? This is really important to learn. What people see over here is not controlled necessarily by what you see here. For instance, I could leave this background blue and make it come up over here, a completely different background with completely different formatting. So what's important is to understand this page right here, edit looks. Okay, I don't know why, but I feel like every single time I turn on Propresenter, it seems like these settings, I lose these settings. So it's important to always check this. Like if you click on a slide and nothing comes up, it's because these settings frequently don't save. So you come in here and you go and you see right now none of these presentations have been set. So you need to go through here, click songs. All right, like now we designate what happens when you hit those slides. So we go to Coths. This is online, so we want online songs. In the sanctuary, we go to Coths. It's how we want the songs to look in the sanctuary, which is basically this readings sanctuary. In the narthex, we want, in the narthex, we want narthex. Downtown TVs, we want downtown songs. And airplay, that's just the downtown projector. We want downtown songs. Okay, so now we're going to make that live. While we're here, let's go down to readings. This is another very important thing to do. And go to online, Coths, online reading. You're starting to see the picture here. Sanctuary. Sanctuary readings. Narthex. Downtown TVs. This is a reading, so we want downtown reading. And the airplay, that's the projector downtown readings. Okay, now let's see what happens. So look, I haven't even reformatted any of this in the middle section because you don't have to. I reformat these in the middle section more as a courtesy so that all the slides will look the same. But as people learn this system, it becomes less important to reformat these. So watch. These are going to appear just the way we want. Boom, there we go. That's how it looks online. Of course, this red screen is obviously taken out so they can see the live feed. So there's online. That's the sanctuary projector screens. This right here is the downtown TVs. And this is the downtown projector, although I think it is mislabeled. I'll fix that some other time. And there it is. And I have those clear alls and those looks, those commands embedded in there, again, just as redundancies. All right. So now we're back to putting things in. Opening acclamation. It's almost always the very first one. You can ignore all this stuff. You can also, I mean, if you put the wrong one in, you're you're gonna know. Like if you put opening acclamation CHS online, you'll know like that doesn't look right. Like it doesn't have any blanks on either side of it. You might ask, well, why not just delete all the extra stuff? I've tried, but because we sync up like 3 or 4 different repositories, well, it's one repository that goes to like 3 or 4 different computers. So it's really hard to delete things, because if it's anywhere else, it'll just pop back up on everybody's computer. So anyways, Command F, let's get the collective purity. Again, 99% of the time it's the first one. Here's a great example of why this formatting doesn't matter here. Okay, so here's a great example. You'll see there's my blank slide, and this is going to show up everywhere exactly how it needs to. Boom. Now, the only caveat here is for some reason, when I do Propresenter on my computer, it doesn't show a white screen behind this text for the online. Like normally it would look like that, you know? I don't know why, but on my computer, it just doesn't pull in that white background. You don't have to worry about that. On the computers at the uptown and downtown churches, it does that white screen. So just a good example here of how important it is to make sure that these looks are correct, because these looks tell it what it needs to look like when it gets where it needs to go, if that makes sense. Welcome, this is downtown, so the welcome is where we do the announcements. So announcements downtown. Again, don't worry about the media. Apostles' Creed. Put that in there. And it's always helpful, just like while you're here, go ahead and click on a couple of them and just make sure that they come out the way they need to. Okay. Looks good. Again, my computer is just slow. So then we have worship. Waiting here for you. Again, you always want to make sure that you come in here and don't ever select master. It's always one of these guys, and I try to tell you which ones they are. It's usually default arrangement PCO or norm NORM. In this case, this is a unique one. I have a different version of this song that I do, the Advent version. Now, this song you can see it's missing all the formatting. Like, so it looks good here, but you'll see like it should have slide commands, okay? Like it needs the clear alls and it needs the audience looks on it. So we're gonna hit all, and we're gonna add the action clear all. While we're here, we're gonna add the action songs. And then I'm gonna re-highlight the blank and make sure it gets a clear all of its own. Now, it looks just like it did before, but it's important that these actions are on here. You have to have them. They've got to be in there. This one actually looks funky. It looks kind of messed up. So here's a good example. All right, we need to go in and we need to fix this. So let's go to the reflow editor. Like that's not other song, that's the chorus. So let's come in here and let's change that to chorus 1. Also, it shouldn't be 3 lines, it should be 2. Interlude is fine. All right, that looks good. That's better. Now, the other thing you're noticing here is like, well, we're working with 2 lines. Ah, shoot. I accidentally deleted it, but we'll just pop it right back in. It should pick up right where we were. Okay, it went ahead and fixed itself. Before, it was only showing 1 line of text. It wasn't showing 2 lines. But you know what? It looks like it reverted back to doing this other song thing. I'm going to show you again real quick how to fix it. I don't know why it keeps not saving this change, but that's okay. It's good to see how to do this. So combing through, and this is where it's really important, like I need to know that all of the lyrics are correct. Like this is when you come in and you check and make sure that this doesn't say, you know, like something like this, like a typo. This is where we check for typos, and this is when it's really good to just listen to the song while you do this. And now, if you still don't like how this looks, like if for some reason it's missing something, you can always highlight it, and you can change the theme of it. Again, this doesn't change what people see. This just changes what you see in that middle section, okay? So I actually like this look the best. I like the high contrast. It makes it easy to see. And you see, like, it fixed... We were having a weird issue where only one line was displaying, which was weird. And it looks like for some reason the chorus didn't get that signal that it should be audience look songs. Now, again, I don't have to do that. I do that as a redundancy. We already had the audience look songs like up here and on all these slides, but I'm still going to put it in there. It's a good habit to get in, to just put it in there. Prayers of the People Downtown, that's when I do the general confession. You always want to look on PCO, like it might say Prayers of the People right here, but I think on PCO it'll say confession. So it's good to check PCO and make sure that you've got that. Come Thou Fount, Command F, Come Thou Fount. You can see this one's probably already going to be set up correctly. Boom. Looks good. Keep going, call it to the day. I read that. Lighting of the Advent candles. There's no liturgy. Command F for the second reading. We've already built the second reading, but you want to pop it in there. Again, for redundancy's sake, you want to make sure that the reading is correct here. That this, where it says, the Holy Gospel of our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ according to Luke, you have to change that. If the reading was Mark, you'd have to change it to say the Gospel according to Mark. And then, of course, to get, I think I've already gone over this multiple times, but to get Bible verses, you want to come in here and go to Scripture, look up Genesis 1, 1 through 4. Okay? That's going to, you want to make sure that you're selected the English Standard Version, and you want to make sure that where it says verse, it says default. And so then you will copy that, go back to show, and then, you would paste it right there. So you'd just highlight this, you'd paste it. Of course, it's already in there, so we don't need to worry about that. But that's just how you insert a Bible verse, just in case anyone's needing that. And again, you don't have to worry so much about how it's formatted here. You just need to make sure that it's formatted correctly in the looks section. So there's that. Sermon, where you put the sermon stuff. I don't have any sermon stuff to put in right now. But then right now we are in Advent. This one's kind of hard. Eucharist, Advent, it's right there. Okay, that looks good. Again, it's always good to come in here and just make sure stuff looks right. Communion, and then I'm singing this song for communion. Here's another example of a song that needs to be fixed. So while I have it right here, I'm going to go ahead and give it its actions. Oops, I don't want that. So you can, one thing, if you add the wrong action, just remove the actions, go back and add the right one. Clear all, audience look. It's a song, so put it to songs. Now let's go over to the reflow editor. 2 lines per slide. Okay. So now we've broken that out. Looks like, now we have a bunch of extra slides, so I probably should have done the reflow first and then added the actions, but whatever. Add action, audience look, songs. Okay. And then I want to make sure that I have the right arrangement. Never master. Usually norm. Norm is usually the right one. Okay. Let's see how it looks. All right. All right. Looks great. Again, doesn't matter what it looks like here. Just to reiterate it, I only reformat these so that you have a consistency. Like, it's kind of confusing when you have some red slides and some black slides and then white slides and then blue slides. I will probably stop reformatting those because it takes extra time and it doesn't really do anything. Add the doxology, get the downtown loop. Make sure that any announcement loop is set to show on announcements. Now what that means is, I'll show you. You can decide where you want your announcements to show up. I have it set up so that the announcements, anything with that green thing, will show up online and will show up on the main projector screen downtown. And the way I tell it where to go is by hitting announcements. I need to do the same up here at the very top. If you don't do that, it won't go to the right place. And so that's how you build them. It's important that you listen through these songs, that you look through things and you look for typos, that you look for formatting errors. You'd be surprised how frequently something will just look fine and then get messed up when it gets synced up or down from the repository. Like, stuff just happens. And every single time you open the program, you want to go to looks and go ahead and just make sure that songs are set up the right way, that readings are set up the right way. Everything else is pretty much you don't have to worry about it. But, yeah, don't worry about everything else. The other things are special looks that are used for specific situations. But as you can see, 99% of our stuff is either set to be a song or a reading of some kind. And I have those. I try to reuse the same looks as much as I can. Now, just a quick reminder: this is how you get a playlist. This is how you get a service. So you go to Planning Center Services. If you're getting a Sunday morning service, it's going to be in here. If you are getting a Sunday night service, it's going to be right here. You have to make sure that you pull down a Sunday morning service. Like, watch. So when I go to do December 27th, I'm going to get December 27th, and that's the morning service. And now I want to get December 27th night. Now, you'll see they are labeled the same, but they're clearly different. You can see that the playlist down here is changing because our two services are slightly different. So you click that again, add a DT at the end. That indicates that it's for downtown. And then you build it, just like I just did. Going through and making sure that typos are corrected, that you go in the reflow editor to make sure that the arrangements are correct, that they're labeled right, that everything's in the right place. And And that is pretty much it. I'm going to post this, and whoever needs to see it can see it. You can let me know if you have any questions. To change this, you can just go to screens, stage screen, and then if you're at the big church, you want online and sanctuary. If you're downtown, you want to go to stage screen and you want downtown. I'll try to put more videos out like this that kind of show the back end of how to make these slides, because it is important that we make these things the right way. And the more people that know how to do this, the less likely it is that we're going to make small mistakes.